Hi, folks. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining. How many of you are here? Let me just check. Okay. Okay. All right. So I think we are good to go. Okay. All right. I might not be have the access to your chat, but yeah, maybe let me connect to a different device as well. A few of you are writing in the chat as well. Good evening, Kavin Prashad. Ayur Glow 198. Good evening, folks. So uh, I have joined using a different device over here, right? So that I can see your chat. Okay. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get started. Today we are going to do AFCAT 2024 2 memory based question. Okay. All I want you guys to have a lot of patience while we do these questions. Okay. Right. And yeah, don't judge me. Right. That's point number two. First is that you got to have a lot of patience. Number two, you cannot judge me, okay, because I also don't know everything out of it. And disclaimer that in GK part I'm just going to give you an answer because I'm majorly reasoning mathematics teacher, and I'm like English also I'll pull it off, but GK part I'll just try to do justice to it. Okay, right? This is point number three, and likely by 1:30 we are hopeful that we'll finish it off. Okay, right? So the order of this particular PYQ session, this is the first PYQ session for your 2026 one session of examination. The order is going to be: first we will do English, then GK, then mathematics, and lastly reasoning. Okay, but when you appear for your examination, good evening, Ayur Glow 198. Yeah. So whenever you do your do the actual test, you don't have to follow any order. Okay. You can just do whichever section, whichever question you find it easy. Okay. So let's just get started over here with the English section. Direction question number 1 to 5. In the following passage, some words have been deleted. Read the passage carefully and select the most appropriate option to fill in each blank. Rabindranath Tagore founded a small school at Shantiniketan in 1901 and Kala Bhavan, an art school, in 1919, which dash became a part of Vishwabharati University. Okay, right? Which better, which later, which faster, which slower. Okay, obviously the logical correct answer for this one is what? B, right? Which later. Okay, write down your answers in the comment. Okay, I'm able to see in a different device over here, right? So which later became a part of Vishwabharati University, founded in 1921, located in an dash village. Okay, so you are talking over here about the quality of the village. Okay, so if the village is not so important, then obviously you will not tell it like normal village, right? Reliable means what? Trustworthy village. Magical over here seems to be, overboard of the passage. Okay, right? Magical, mysterious, and all that, though it sounds good, but it is not correct. Okay, it is located in an idyllic means laid back, easy, lazy. Okay, right? Village some distance from the city of Calcutta. Kala Bhavan represented an alternative methodology of art training in which studio based practice was dash. Okay, accepted, rejected, investigated, aspired. Okay, right? So studio based practice was dash in favor of learning through observation and living as a part of nature. Okay, So in this particular setup of Rabindranath Tagore, this studio-based practice was actually, studio-based practice means what? Okay, studio-based practice means the normal way, right? The traditional way. Obviously, that will not be accepted. That will be rejected over here, right? Okay, the studio-based practice was rejected in favor of learning through observation and living as part of nature, the natural surroundings with the dash of bare red earth dotted with trees, the colors of changing seasons, the animals and birds dash to students. Okay, the natural surroundings with the dash of bare red earth dotted with trees. Okay, haze means what? Okay, haze, murk and band, these three are your wrong answers over here, right? Okay, vistas means what? Okay, vistas means landscape, so vistas over here is your correct answer. Okay, with the vistas of bare red earth dotted with trees, the colors of changing seasons, the animals and birds, refused, agreed, okay, groomed. Obviously over here question number 5, C is going to be the correct answer. Provided inspiration to students. Okay, so this is what going to be your answer for this particular question. Okay, this particular set. And now we have passage questions. Mountains occupy about a quarter of earth's land. Okay, mountains occupy about a quarter of earth's land, harbor most of its biodiversity hotspot, and supply fresh water to an estimated half of humanity. Present on every continent, mountains include a multitude of ecosystems holding many unique species such as snow leopard, mountain gorillas. They are also home to great cultural diversity among people adapted to the challenges of mountain life. Okay, their special traditions and breathtaking scenery attract ever-growing number of tourists. Okay, so we can easily understand over here that we are talking about mountains, right? The beauty of the mountain, how exactly it attracts the tourists, and how exactly it provides drinking water to the people, and it also harbors diversity and etc. Mountain regions are particularly sensitive to degradation from both human pressure and climate change. Now the tone has been changed, right? Okay, first in the first passage they are talking good things about the mountains, and in the second paragraph they are talking what exactly causes the harm to the mountains. Okay, so mountain regions are particularly sensitive to degradation from both human pressures and climate change. Steep slopes mean the clearing of forest for farming. Settlements means home and infrastructure can cause soil erosion as well as loss of habitat. Okay, whenever we talk habitat means the home of the animals. Okay, habitat means home of animals, right? Erosion and pollution harm the quality of water flowing downstream, right? Climate change threatens the quantity and timing of water supplies to farms, cities, industries, and power stations. Fast rising temperatures are forcing mountain species, ecosystems, and the people that depend on them to adapt or migrate. Okay, so in the second paragraph, it has largely talked about the problems which are being faced by global warming, climate change, and all that stuff. Okay, soil erosion and all that. Okay, so question number 6 over here asks, what is the antonym for the word diversity? Okay, diversity means what? Okay, diversity means multitude. Okay, right? So the antonym of diversity, it's not dilemma. Dilemma is what? Doubt. Heritage, right? Heritage, Varanasi for example is a heritage city, right? Block is absolutely a wrong answer. Uniformity over here is going to be the correct answer. Guys, write down the answers in the chat box. Okay, at least I can see, and if you give a different answer than me, we can discuss, right? So what is the antonym of the word migrate? Okay, migrate means to move from one place to another, and also there is a very great meaning. This is a PYQ, right? Okay, exodus. Okay, exodus is the meaning for migrate. Okay, right? Migration means exodus, right? So the antonym of migrate over here is not, right, run, assume, or die. Absolutely, these are all wrong answers. Stay over here is your correct answer. Which is the best description of the tone of the passage? Okay, right? Is it laudatory? Are you trying to praise it? The answer is yes, you are praising it in the first half of the passage, but in the second half what actually happens, that the author tries to enumerate the challenges that are being faced in this particular space. Okay, is author biased? Absolutely no, author is not biased. Okay, in one hand author is talking about the good stuff, and on the other hand the author is also outlining the challenges over here, right? Okay, emotional, you may think that emotional is the correct answer. Even I thought that emotional over here is the correct answer, but unfortunately emotional is not the correct answer. Okay, the argument that the author has given over here, right, it has given it is pretty much logical, right? Because of climate change, because of soil erosion, right, all these problems are happening, animals are losing their habitat and all that stuff. Okay, and how exactly it is affecting the human. So it is largely humanistic in nature, and that is why we go ahead with question number 8D as your correct answer, folks. Okay, so which of the following represents the structure of the passage, right? Okay, so over here it says chronological, right? Chronological means, are you mentioning the date wise, right? Okay, history is largely or chronological, right? Okay, is it a definition based? Absolutely no. Okay, compare and contrast over here seems to be the right one. Okay, compare and contrast over here seems to be the right one, but cause and effect also seems to be the correct one. Okay, right? But what do you guys think for question number 9? Which one should we go ahead with? Compare or contrast, or cause and effect? Right? Okay, compare and contrast. Compare means you are trying to, put one thing against another, and contrast means like, white and black. Okay, that is called contrasting. Okay, cause and effect, right? Are you trying to enumerate this is the problem and this is why this is what is happening and all that stuff? Okay, so yeah, C and D both over here seems to be the correct answer. So now we are in dilemma. Tell me, what do you guys think we should have? Which particular answer should we go ahead with in question number 9 in that case? Okay, right? So let me take a little bit of help over here. Okay, so question number 9 you have, question number 9. Okay, it says that the passage discusses how mountains ecosystem are affected by human pressure and climate change, leading to various consequences such as soil erosion, habitat loss, water pollution, change in water supply. Outlines the causes, human pressure and climate change and their effects, degradation of mountain ecosystem, threats to water quality, quantity and impact. Okay, right, this cause and effect, right? Okay, so over here as per the passage they are saying that cause and effect is the correct answer. I thought about compare and contrast, because in the first paragraph, if you see over here, it is talking about the good stuff about the mountain, and suddenly over here in the second paragraph they are talking about the problems which is being faced in the mountainous region. Okay, so but it is largely cause and effect, as over here is given your correct answer. Okay, so D over here is the correct answer as per the answer key, right? Which of the following most accurately state the central idea of the passage? Okay, what do you think over here is the central idea of the passage? Okay, pollution? Absolutely not. Biodegradation? Absolutely not. Climate change is absolutely doing some problem, is doing some harm, but the correct answer is your mountain ecosystem over here. B is the correct answer, right? Okay, select the most appropriate option that can substitute the underlined segment in the given sentence. If there is no need to substitute, select no substitution required. It is a quiet afternoon, so Dan decided to take a nap. Okay, now it was a quiet afternoon. What is the correct spelling of quiet? Okay, quiet, calm, right? Quiet, calm. Okay, the correct spelling is QIET, right? QIET is the correct answer. Absolutely, it is not an quiet, okay, it is a quiet, okay. It was a quiet afternoon, so Dan decided to take a nap, okay, right? Right, so D over here is your correct answer, folks. Parts of the following sentence have been underlined, question number 12, and given as options. Select the option that contains an error. Have they been work, okay, have they been work in a particular shop for several years, okay, right? So absolutely, I'm not a grammar Nazi, but but I, when, how do I find out the mistakes in the grammar is that I try to read it and I try to find out where exactly the friction is, okay. have they been have they been work in the particular shop for several years, okay. Over here it was supposed to be have they been working in the popular shop for several years. It's like you are trying to question, right? Have they been working in a particular shop for several years? So absolutely the wrong answer over here is the mistake over here is in part A, which is your work, okay. Now question number 13, select the correct spelling of the incorrectly spelled word, right? He had a round face, made jovial, okay. Jovial over here is correctly spelled by bright, okay. Almost boy's eyes and eyebrows, ridiculously, okay, ridiculously small for a man his size, okay, right? So he had a round face. He had a round face made jovial by bright, almost boy's eyes and eyebrows, ridiculously, right? Ridiculously small, right? By a man his size, okay. So which one is the correct answer over here, right? Jovial, the correct spelling is Jovial, right? So these two are not your correct answer, okay. Ridiculously, okay, ridiculous, right? RIDI, ridiculous, CULOUSLY, okay. So over here D is your correct answer. COLOUSLY is the wrong spelling over here, folks, okay. Now question number 14, this particular one has been asked to you in your CDS exams as well, as well as in your ND exam as well, okay. But the way this question is given over here is a bit confusing, because you know AFCAT is a memory based examination. The question paper does not come out, okay. So people have given the memory based question over here. Select the word segment that substitute replaces the bracketed word segment correctly and completes the sentence meaningfully. Unless you will not prepare well, you, okay, unless you do not prepare well, okay. This is the whole sentence over here. Unless you do not prepare well, okay, do not prepare well, you will not perform well, okay. So the correct answer, I mean the mistake over here is in, right? So unless you do not prepare well, okay. So they have already said like that, okay. Unless you do not prepare well, okay. So would not prepare well, okay. Will do not prepare well, okay. I mean, I tell you, these are the memory based questions, so you know they have not given the options or even the questions properly. They are trying to ask the question, unless you do not prepare well, okay. Unless you do not prepare well, okay, you will not perform well, right, okay. The correct usage is that unless you prepare well, okay, because the meaning of unless itself is that if you don't do, unless you work hard you will fail, unless you do not work hard you will fail. This is a wrong answer, okay. When you use word unless, you do not use, okay. When you use word unless, this itself is a negative meaning, okay. So you need not use the word not again, okay, right. So this is why C over here is your correct answer, folks, right. Question number 14, C is what we are going ahead with, okay. Folks, you are not writing the answers in the chat, okay. 6 of you are here but not writing the answer in the chat, okay. So grammatical error over here, again you have the error detection question. Roger went to an United Kingdom with his wife, okay, to the United Kingdom. Okay, whenever we use United Kingdom, United States, we use article the over here, folks, right? So the United Kingdom over here is going to be the correct answer. Okay, select the option that question number 16, select the option that can be used as one word substitute for the following group of words. Okay, to restrain or or compel a person to do something. Okay, consensus means agreement. Casualty means death. Okay, dead body. Convoy, you know what is convoy? Military convoy, right? Okay, so these are not your correct answer. Coerce, right? Coerce means to force, right, in a negative manner. Okay, right? So over here, to restrain or compel a person to do something by force, the correct answer over here is coerce, folks, right? So C is going to be the correct answer for question number 16, right? Question number 17, select the option that will improve the underlined part of the given sentence, right? People say different things at different times. Okay, people say different things at different times. How can you improve that? Number option A says should say fanciful things at different times. Okay, says delectable, right? Delectable, right? What is the meaning of delectable, right? Okay, delectable means what? Okay, you can say like delicate. Okay, right? Delicate, right? Delicate means what? Okay, flowers are very delicate in nature. Okay, something which can cause so much of argument, that is called delectable, right? Says delectable things at different times, says whimsical things at different times. Okay, say diverse things at different times. Okay, right? Whimsical means what? Okay, whimsical means, okay, it's about the temper. Okay, right? So let's say over here we can say Ram, Shyam. Okay, they have a whimsical character, which means you don't know how they will behave at certain times, right? Okay, so for this one, okay, people say different things at different times. Okay, people say different things at different times. We would not use a very strong word like whimsical, and we would rather use a simple word like diverse. Okay, diverse means what? Diverse means multitude. Okay, so you need not go overboard and try to try to answer the question in a more stronger way, right? Okay, I know that diverse, you will feel like just diverse, so should we just use the word diverse? The answer is yes. Okay, right? So this is what they are saying, people say different things at different times. Okay, so we are going to use the word over here, we are going to use say diverse thing at diverse time. Okay, even though whimsical also seems to be the right answer, but that would be like going overboard. Okay, right? The following sentence has been split into 4 segments. Identify the segment that contains the grammatical error. Okay, I have a dog and a cow. Okay, a dog is black but the cow is black and white. Okay, what do you think over here is your, where exactly is the mistake in question number 18? Okay, where exactly do you guys think is the mistake in question number 18? Yeah, all those of you who thinks that they are very great with English, now this is the time for you to answer the question over here, right? Okay, this is the time for you to answer the question over here. You guys are having a lot of faith in yourself, that is good. Okay, but I want you to answer question number 18, right? Question number 18, kindly answer over here, right? The following sentence has been split into 4 segments. Identify the segment that contains the grammatical error. Where exactly do you think is the grammatical error, right? I have a dog and a cow. A dog is black. Okay, you have, when you have already declared you have a dog and a cow, the article that you will use over here is the. Okay, the dog is black but the cow is black and white. Okay, right? So the mistake is in your 18, right, part A over here, right? Now question number 19, select the most appropriate option that can substitute the underlined segment in the given sentence. The team leader tried to remain positive and optimistic. Okay, right? You have to replace positive and optimistic in the situation. even though they were facing tough competition and limited resources. Okay, right? So to remain positive and optimistic, this is what you are going to remain positive and optimistic, right? To remain positive or optimistic, right? So to put a strong hand forward, okay, to put a strong exterior, okay, right, to put a strong desire in front of. Why desire? I don't understand that. Exterior, what do you mean by exterior over here, right? So to put a brave face on, right? Okay, so the team leader tried to put a brave face on, right? Okay, on the situation, even though they were facing tough competition and they were faced with limited resources, right? Okay, right? So D over here is the correct usage of the idiom over here, folks, right? Now how about question number 20? What do you guys think? Question number 20, right? Select the most appropriate phrasal verb to fill in the blanks, right? It took 7 years for Harish to shake down, shake up, shake out, okay, right? Dash migraine. Okay, migraine is a very intense headache. Okay, is a type of very intense headache over here, right? Okay, so what do? You shake off, right? Shake off means remove. Okay, right? Right, shake off means remove over here, right? Okay, shake down, shake up, right? The normal shaking of your milkshake and all that, that is called shake up. Okay, right? Shake down and shake out over here as your incorrect answer. The correct answer is shake off. Okay, right? Shake off, D over here is your correct answer. Now for question number 21 and 22, each item in this section consists of a sentence with an underlined word followed by 4 groups or groups of words. Select the option that is opposite in meaning. Okay, you have to tell which one are the antonyms over here, right? Okay, the leader's views were equivocal on the contentious issues. Okay, right? Equivocal, right? What do you mean by equivocal? Right? Equivocal, what exactly do you mean by equivocal? Okay, right? The meaning of equivocal, folks, what do you guys think about the meaning of equivocal over here, right? Okay, so the leaders view were equivocal on contentious issues. Okay, right? Okay, so equivocal means what? This is also your PYQ word. Equivocal itself means ambiguous. Okay, ambiguous. Okay, unclear. Obscure means obscure, ambiguous and vague. Okay, these three words over here are your synonyms, right? So obviously if you are going to choose obscure, ambiguous or vague, these three are absolutely not going to be the right answer. The right answer is going to be clear, which is different from all the rest three of this. Okay, right? The difference from the rest three of it, isn't it? Okay, now question number 22, his behavior was quite belligerent. Okay, right? What exactly do you mean by belligerent? Okay, belligerent means someone who fights. Okay, whose nature itself is to just pick up too many fights. Okay, that is called as belligerent. Okay, right? Yeah, combative is a combative over here is your synonym. Bellicose, right? Belligerent. Okay, antagonize, okay, like villain, right? So all of these are your synonyms. Amiable means friendly. So D over here is the correct answer in that case, folks. Okay, these are your very important words. These words will be repeated in all of your examinations over and over again and again. Okay, right? Not just your defense services examination, any competitive examination, time and again they will ask the same questions again and again. Okay, so given below are some of the idioms and phrases followed by 4 alternative meaning to each, right? Choose response A, B, C, D, which is the most appropriate meaning. Okay, right? So look at your laurels. Question number 23, look at your laurels. Yeah, what do you guys think? To make an extra effort to secure one's position, to look suitable for a particular situation, to guard one's trophy, or to praise oneself. Okay, right? To look at your laurels. Okay, right? the very first thought when you do this particular idiom is that when you are looking at your laurels, you will think that you are looking at your achievement, isn't it? That's the first thought, right? Okay, so you are thinking about what your achievements, isn't it? Okay, are you guarding your trophies? Okay, are you praising yourself? Okay, right? Are you to look at the suitable for to look suitable for a particular situation? Absolutely not. Okay, so what you are doing is that you are looking at the journey that has been very purposeful, the journey that you have really enjoyed, right? So that is what you are looking back at your laurels. Okay, which means you have to make an extra effort to secure one's position. This is the nearest and the closest meaning to this particular question, folks. Okay, right. So now the next question. Yes, I know you might have a lot of questions, I understand. Okay, but yeah, over here A is your closest answer for this particular question, looking at your laurels. Okay, you are not guarding your trophies, right? You are not praising yourself, and you are not to look suitable for a particular situation. You are not trying to look suitable for particular situation as well. Okay, so now for question number 24, tilt at windmills. Okay, this is also a very important one. Okay, tilt at the windmill. Okay, to be young and inexperienced, no. To celebrate and good news, no. To blow hot air, no. Okay, the windmills are tilted only, right? Okay, tilt at the windmills, like the blades, right? Those are tilted only, and they just moves, right? You try to understand, right? Okay, tilt at windmills, right? So it is like to waste time dealing with enemies and problems that do not exist, right? Question number 24, the correct answer is D over here, folks, right? I'm sure that this particular idiom must have been pretty difficult for you guys to guess, but yeah, some of them are this way. You can't really help it. Okay, right? Now question number 24, 25. Okay, what do you guys think about question number 25? Question number 25, folks. Question number 25. The essence of human resource development is a remedial role in balancing the socio-economic fabric of the country, right? Education, which plays a significant role, and okay, right? Okay, so what do you think over here should be the right answer? The first one, A, says the essence of human resource development is, right, is education, which plays a significant role and remedial role in balancing the socio-economic fabric of the country. Okay, right? So obviously the essence of the essence of human resource development is, okay, it is likely to start with P. Okay, the essence of the human resource development is balancing the socio-economic fabric of the country, right? PR, right? But we don't have any option like PR over here, right? So the essence of human resource development is balancing the socio-economic fabric of the country, education, which plays a significant and remedial role. Okay, significant and remedial role. So one thing is certain over here, that S and Q are supposed to come together. Okay, S and Q are supposed to come together, so that means these two are definitely not your answer. Okay, now these two we have to check. Okay, so P says the essence of human resource development is, right, is education, which plays a significant and remedial role in balancing the socio-economic fabric of the country, right? And then C says over here, right, balancing the socio-economic fabric of the country, right, education, which plays a significant and remedial role in the essence of human, right? So obviously C seems to be very strange over here, so we go ahead with A as the correct answer. Okay, now how about question number 26, balanced diet? Okay, yeah guys, that's it. Okay, your all of your Josh has gone onto a toss with just these many questions only, right? Balanced diet and are vital items of are essential ingredients of for a wholesome and fruits and vegetables mass consumption. Okay, what do you think? Okay, right? So fruits and vegetables are, okay, fruits and vegetables are, it is likely to start with are, okay, are essential ingredients for a, right, wholesome and, right, okay, balanced diet are vital items, okay, mass consumptions, okay, mass consumption. Now tell me, what do you guys think about this? Okay, so if I go ahead with A over here, right, this whole is P, this whole of this is R, wholesome and fruit vegetables, okay, right, balanced diets and are vital items of, okay, fruits and vegetables are essential ingredients for a balanced diet and are vital importance for, right, right, what do you guys think? Okay, right, wholesome and fruits and vegetables, okay, what is this particular stuff? I do not understand over here, right? Okay, what is this particular stuff over here, right? Okay, so if we have to look for this particular one, balanced diet and our vital items of are essential ingredients for a mass consumption. Okay, so fruits and vegetables are essential ingredients for a, right, it seems like RQP, right, RQP we can easily derive, fruits and vegetables are essential ingredients for a balanced diet and are a vital item of wholesome and mass consumption. Okay, wholesome and mass consumption. Okay, right, wholesome is supposed to be in between. Okay, right, so over here we go ahead with question number 26, A as your correct answer, folks, right? Okay, absolutely not an easy one. Okay, absolutely, there's a lot of error in the question also, but we can't do away with, this is what it is, because these are memory based questions over here, right? Okay, question number 27 and 28, each of the following sentences has a word or words underlined, read the sentence carefully and which has a belongs to, okay, right, consequently, what do you think is consequently? Okay, absolutely, consequently this poses a threat to agriculture and human health, right, absolutely over here, I mean, one thing is certain that consequently is not your noun. Okay, verb means wherever action is happening. Okay, adjective means what? Quality, right? Quality, right? Okay, adverb, right? Adverb talks about adjective and also about the verb, both. Okay, so consequently, right, this is not adjective, right? Okay, honesty, when I say honesty, right? Okay, so this is your adjective, right? Okay, but when I say consequently, this is not verb, this is your adverb, this is not adjective either. Okay, how about question number 28? Who two of you are here? Kindly give me your attendance. Who two, three of you are here? Some of you are just joining and leaving. Okay, right? Majority of you will join and leave. I understand. Okay, right? They will subscribe the channel and they will move away, thinking that they will watch it later. But I know who people don't have this much of patience, specifically on YouTube. Okay, right? Okay, people don't come to YouTube to study. Let's be very honest. Okay, yeah, okay, so just stick around, try to consume as much of content as you can from I would honestly suggest you, if you are following one or two any channel, just stick with those, because if you follow multiple channels your mind will break, and that is absolutely not a good thing. Okay, right, so 27, the answer is adverb over here. What do you think is the answer for question number 28 is what I'm asking from you folks. Okay, question number 28. Yeah, Question number 28. What do you guys think is the answer to this particular question? Okay. Yeah. Question number 28. Yeah. Hmm. Question number 128, folks. Yeah. Not 128, only 28. Okay. Right. Question number 28. What do you guys think about question number 28 here? Yeah. Okay. So for question number 28, I did not tell him anything except that I needed money. Okay. I did not tell him anything except that I needed money. Okay. Right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I did not tell him anything except that I needed money. What do you guys think about this? Okay, right? Over here, except means, right? Except is what? Absolutely not preposition. It is not your adverb. It is also not your adjective also, right? Okay, it is what? It is your conjunction. Okay, I did not tell him anything except that I needed money. Okay, right? So 28 D over here is your correct answer, folks, right? Okay, how about 29 and 30, right? Select the option that is nearest in the meaning to the underlined word. Okay, nearest to the meaning in the underlined word. Okay, right? Sorry. Okay, Cantercross, this word is a very important PYQ word. Okay, absolutely important PYQ word over here, right? Cantercross means someone who is, right, who picks up fight. Okay, who picks up too many fights. Okay, so it is not serious, it is not weak or polite. The correct answer is ill tempered, right? Okay, you should learn this word. Okay, now about question number 30, our teacher told us not to be verbose, right? Okay, what is the meaning of verbose, right? The meaning of verbose over here is that you use too many different words and sentences, like you try to become Shashi Tharoor, right? Okay, so that is the meaning of verbose, right? So absolutely the correct meaning over here is exaggerate. It's not informal, it's not short. Succinct, this is also a PYQ word. Terse, okay, small, and all that is your correct answer. Okay, now we are going to get started with your general awareness questions, right? Okay, now focus on question number 31 over here. Lavani is a traditional dance of which of the following states? Okay, right? So they are asking about the traditional dances over here, right? Right? So the correct answer for this particular question is Maharashtra, right? Lavani is the traditional dance of Maharashtra folks, right? Okay, right? Which of the following scientists provided the law of octaves? Okay, where exactly do you find law of octaves, right? Okay, law of octaves is nothing anywhere else other than it's not anywhere else other than chemistry, right? Okay, so absolutely, Marie Curie, she was responsible for inventing, discovering radium. Galileo, Copernicus, and all that, they were related to space. Michael Faraday, they were related to, magnetism, induction and all that, right? So the correct answer for 32 is what? John Newland. Okay. Who among the following Bahmani Sultan was noted for cruelty and hence got the title as Zalim? Okay, Zalim is a Hindi word which means perpetrator. Okay, right? Perpetrator, right? Okay, so the correct answer for question number 33 is Humayun was called as Zalim over here. Right, folks? Okay, Humayun was known as Zalim. Okay, right? The Rajpath was decided to be the permanent venue for the Republic Day parade from which of the following year onwards? It was the year 1955, from which, right, the Rajpath was decided as the Republic Day. Rajpath was decided as the venue for the Republic Day parade. Okay, right? You have to keep it in mind. Either you know it or you don't know it. You can't really help it. Okay, this is what it is. We can't really help such a kind of question. Okay, which disease is caused by not having enough vitamin C in the diet for at least 3 months, leading to weaknesses, anemia, gum disease and skin problems? Okay, whenever you have gum disease, okay, right, vitamin C, okay, vitamin C, right, it causes scurvy, right, rickets happen because of vitamin D, okay, right, because of vitamin B, the deficiency of vitamin B, it causes beriberi, right? Okay, pellagra over here is not your correct answer, folks. Okay, right? How about question number 36? What is the standard weight of hockey ball? I don't know what is the answer to this particular question. So let me just take a bit of help over here, right? Okay, so 156 to 163, 156 to 163 grams is the standard weight of a hockey ball. Hockey game is played between two teams, 11 players on a rectangular ground. The field is 100 yards, 91.4 meters long and all that. Okay, and it is marked with a center line and two 25-yard lines. The goals are 4 yards, 3.66 wide and 7 feet 2.13 meter high. Okay, right? So this is what we have over here. So the correct answer for this particular question is your how much? Okay, 156 to 162, right? Okay, question number how much? 36, right? Question number 36, which one? I do not know, right? D over here is the correct answer for question number 36, right? 156 to 163 grams. Okay, it's completely okay to skip certain questions, right? Okay, that is absolutely fine. Okay, the Arms Act was passed in dash that prevented Indians from keeping arms without an appropriate license. Okay, right? The Arms Act, right? Okay, obviously this Arms Act was created long back during the time of the British. Okay, 37. C is the answer, and I had no idea about this, right? So I've just taken, right, the help over here, right? Okay, 1878, the Arms Act prevented Indians from having arms over here, right? Okay, right, arms and ammunitions, right? Who takes the salute during the Republic Day parade at New Delhi? This is a sitter question, right? Everyone knows that it is the president who takes the salute during the Republic Day parade in New Delhi, right? Okay, right? According to the census of 2011, which of the following state has the highest Hindu population percentage of total population? Okay, the correct answer for this is not Madhya Pradesh, Haryana or Uttar Pradesh. The correct answer is Himachal Pradesh, wherein you have the highest percentage of Hindu population. Okay, right? Which article of the Indian Constitution mentions that all the authorities, civil and judicial in territory of India shall act in the aid of the Supreme Court, right? Okay, so which particular article says that? Okay, which particular article of the Indian Constitution mentions that all the authorities, civil and judicial in the territory of India shall act in aid shall act in aid of Supreme Court, right? Okay, so the article which outlines that is Article 144, okay, right? Yeah, again, if you know it, you will write it. If you don't know it, you will not be able to write it. It's as simple as that, okay? Now, Dihang and Lohit are rivers in which of the following region, okay? So, Dihang and Lohit over here are your parts of Brahmaputra river. Okay, and Brahmaputra river, you know the significance of the Brahmaputra river in the northeast region of India, right? It comes from the China, okay, or Tibetan region, okay. I mean Chinese occupied Tibetan region. That's what it is, okay. So Dihang is located in Arunachal Pradesh, right? And Lohit river, these are the rivers. It is located in Assam, okay. And you have multiple questions around Dihang and Lohit, okay. You have questions multiple, like which is the largest riverine islands, like Majuli, right? Okay, and also river Brahmaputra is even bigger than your Ganga as well, right? Which of the following dance forms is Thumri music associated with? Okay, right? So Thumri movie is associated with Kathak. Okay, so Thumri music is associated with Kathak, which is the state dance of Uttar Pradesh, right? For the Lucknow Gharana, for Varanasi Gharana, right? Okay, so this is related to this particular region, wherein this music or this particular dance, right? It denotes a form of Thumri music and also Thumri dance, right? Okay, like Thumakna is that word. Okay, I mean, how should I say that? Okay, I mean, there is like a rhythmic movement of the waist. Okay, right? Okay, so that is called Thumakna, right? Okay, so that is in Kathak. Okay, right? You can go and read more about it, and maybe you can practice this dance also. Not a big deal, right? Okay. Who among the following Mauryan king fasted to death and died at Sharvana Belagola? Right? Okay. The person behind that was Chandragupta Maurya. Okay. Right. So this particular person, he was, Buddhism and Jainism, both of it was contemporary, and he was really moved by the fact that the atrocities that he had brought. Okay. Same was the case for Ashoka as well. Okay, right? So he was really moved by the atrocities that he has been bringing right out there to the people, and for that he fasted to death and died at Sharvana Belagola, right? Okay, which is in Karnataka, right? Shifting agriculture, right? Shifting agriculture, this is very very important. If you guys have read your NCRT and all that, okay, Jhoom is a type of shifting agriculture, right? Okay, so if you have the basic knowledge about the NCRT books, then you will be able to answer this, right? Shifting agriculture is known as dash in Western Ghats. Okay, so now shifting agriculture is known as different names in different regions of the nation. Okay, in Western Ghats, right? This is your Eastern Ghats and this is your Western Ghats. Okay, the mountainous region of these two areas are called as the Eastern and Western Ghats. Okay, so in the Western Ghats it is known as Kumari. Okay, right? Dahiya, Koman, Waltre, all of this you have to explore a bit by yourself. Okay, right? The measure of the force that can cause an object to rotate about an axis. Okay, rotate about an axis. If there is a rotation about an axis, okay, it is not centripetal force. In centripetal force, work done is zero. Power, over here we are talking about Joule. Moment of inertia, moment of rest. Okay, inertia of motion, inertia of rest, right? These and all not related. The correct answer 45 is C, right? The measure of the force that can cause an object to rotate about an axis is called as torque. Okay, so 45 C over here is your correct answer, right? Okay. Who among the following classical poets of Sultanate period in India popularized Qawwali, a form of music which derived its name from the Arabic word call to, which means to speak. Okay, right? The person responsible for this was, right, Amir Khusro, and he has also written one of the books, right, Aine Akbari. Okay, Aine Akbari. So in those days, what used to happen, these people, these courtiers, okay, they were like, uh, great people in their in their courts, okay, right, in the courts of all these Mughal people, right, okay. So they used to praise about these rurals over there, and they used to write books for them, they used to sing for them, they used to dance for them, and all that, okay, right. So Amir Khushro over here is your correct answer, okay. 47, what is the name of the 1,3 isomer or meta isomer of benzenidol with chemical formula C6H4OH2, right? Okay, so I have no answer, okay, I have no idea, okay, I have seen the answer. The correct answer to this question is resistanol, okay, right? What exactly it is, how exactly it works out, I leave it for to you to work more on that front, okay. Who were the founders of the Theosophical Society, right? Okay, so the founders of the Theosophical Society were H.P. Blavatsky and Colonel Olcott, okay, which later paved the way for, Annie Besant and all that stuff as well, okay, right? So histories you have to read about that, okay. Which of the following organism belongs to phylum Apicomplexa? Okay, phylum Apicomplexa, right? Okay, over here the correct answer, again it is not, I'm not quite sure, but I've seen the answer. These are not your right answer. Plasmodium over here is the correct answer, folks. Okay, right? What, why, how? In the end, I will show you the explanation over here. You can go through that. Okay, this Apicomplex are a diverse, obligate, okay, intercellular parasite groups that includes organisms such as the plasmodiums, right, Coccidia gregarins, right, pyroplasma and hemogangrenines. Okay, I mean, I'm so sorry if I'm not pronouncing it correctly, right? Okay, so this is what you have over here in the picture, folks, right? Now in question number 50, we have in 1932, right? In 1932, who discovered the positron? Okay, who discovered the positron, a particle described as carrying a positive charge but having a mass of same order of magnitude as that normally possessed by a free electron, right? It was not Neil Bohr or Ernest Rutherford or Paul Dirac. The correct answer over here is Carl Anderson, folks, right? Okay, so Carl Anderson was the person who discovered the positron, right? Which of the following rights, over here question number 51, forbids employment of children below 14 years of age in dangerous jobs? Okay, absolutely, it can't be about the equality. Constitutional remedies means you can go to the constitution and ask if if your constitution, if your rights and stuffs have been violated. It's not about the freedom, it's rights against exploitation, okay, right? So if children under the age of 14 is being employed in the dangerous jobs, they cannot be employed over there, right? Okay, which of the following books is an autobiography of L.K. Advani? Lal Krishna Advani was the Deputy Prime Minister of India, right? During the 2000s, early 2000s, okay. Wings of Fire was given by APJ Abdul Kalam, right? My Country, My Life was the book that was written by L.K. Advani, okay, right? From which 5-year plan did India start the journey of industrialization? Okay, from which 5-year plan did India start the journey of industrialization? As I've been telling you so many times, the first 5 year plan was dedicated to agriculture, right? The second 5 year plan, wherein the steel plants in Raurkela, Bhilai, Durgapur, and all that, they were set up by UK, Russia, Germany, France, and all that. Okay, right? So we have talked about that in pretty much detail, right? The masculine aspect of the Manipuri classical dance is known as what? Okay, it's Ras, Pareng, Maiba, No, right? The masculine aspect of Manipuri classical dance is known as Choloms, right? Okay. Now the next question is, which of the following is an indirect tax? Okay, is an indirect tax, right? Okay, I've taught you what do you mean by the direct taxes and the indirect taxes. The direct taxes are the taxes which cannot be levied on the other people, right? Okay, and the indirect taxes are the taxes which can be shifted to the other people, right? Okay, you can shift the indirect tax to other people, right? Okay, so it is not the death duty, interest tax, or capital gains tax. So capital gains tax is the direct tax. Okay, goods and services tax over here, it can be, right, shifted to other people, right? Okay, so over here 55 C is going to be the correct answer, folks, right? Okay. Now, how about question number 56? Question number 56 is, what is the fourth proportional, right? The fourth proportional is simply if 22 is to 66, right? Okay, then proportional 11 is to x, right? So 22 by 66 is equal to 11 by x. So obviously the value of x is going to be 33 over here, folks, right? Okay. Now question number 54. Now as we are doing mathematics question, now it gets a bit more interesting here. Okay. Question number 57. Question number 57. What do you guys think about question number 57? Yeah. Yeah. Question number 57, folks. An article. What do you guys think about question number 57 over here? Okay. Yeah. Question number 57. Yeah, folks, question number 57 over here. What do you guys think about this? Tell me. What do you guys think about question number 57? Oh, so you're like, I'm not thinking about this. Tell me how to solve this. Yeah, is that so? Hmm? All of you have gone, slept. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we do question number 57 over here. An article is sold at a discount of 25% and an additional 28% is allowed on cash payment if R purchased the article by paying 10,800 in cash. Then what was the marked price of the article? Okay. So I'm saying marked price of the article is very first time you give 25% discount, which means 0.75. I've taught all of you guys how exactly to write in this multiplying factor terms, right? I have taught to you folks how exactly to write in this particular form, isn't it? Okay, and then again 28% discount is given, which means 0.88 is remaining, right? Sorry, 0. How much is remaining? 72 is remaining, right? By paying 10800, right? Okay, which means the marked price is equal to 10800 divided by 0.75, okay, into over here 0.72, right? Yeah, you have to do a little bit of calculation. I'm also feeling a bit of lazy like you guys, okay, right? So I'll do the calculation in a faster manner. 10800 divided by 0.75 equal to divided by 0.72, right? Okay, so if you calculate this, you will get 20,000 as the answer to question number 57, right? Okay, now the next question is, a shopkeeper marked the price 15,000, right? 15,000 on an article and a successive discount of 5%. If the successive discount is 5%, which means the rest of the amount is 0.95, and then 10%, that means then the rest of the amount is 0.9, and if 20%, then the rest of the amount is 0.8, right? Okay, so what we are supposed to do, we are just supposed to multiply out of this, all of this 15,000 into 0.95, okay, into 0.9 into 0.8, okay. If you calculate this, you will find that over here for question of 58, answer is what? C, folks, okay, right? For question of 58, answer is C, right? Okay, so now we will move to the next question. The value of a washing machine depreciated from, okay, the value of a washing machine depreciated from 40,960, right? 40,960 to 21,970, okay, right? 40,960 become 21,970, right? Okay, so basically 4096, okay, I'm in terms of ratio I'm writing, has become 2197, okay. Now if you guys are aware of the cube of the numbers, okay, right, cube root of this particular number and cube root of this particular number, in terms of ratios am I writing, okay, which means this is cube root of 16, right, and this is cube root of 13. 2197 is the cube root of 13, okay. So basically 13 has become how much? 3, okay. If 13 has become 3, right, so which means how much is the depreciation, okay, 3 out of 16, right, into 100, which means 300 by 16, okay. 300 by 16, if you calculate it, you will get 18.75 as the answer over here, folks, right? Okay, 18.75 is the answer to this particular question, right? Okay, so now if we move to the next one over here, right, let's move to the next question, question number 60, right? Mathematics is the question that you are all supposed to do it, okay. So A and B are equally efficient, okay, and each can individually complete a piece of work in 36 days, right? Okay, A and B are equally efficient and each can complete the work in 36 days. If none takes any of the holidays, right, A and B started working together on a piece of work, but A took a day off after every 5 days, right, and B took a day off after every 7 days, right, after every 7 days, right, okay, of the work. If the duo started the work on 1st July 2021, on which date the work will be completed. Okay, right? So A is working, A is taking what? Off, right? A took off after every 5 days. Okay, so if both are working together, right, in 36 days individually, if they are able to finish off, if both of are working, which means in 18 days they will finish off the work, right? Okay, on 1st July, right, let me make a little bit of a table over here, right? Okay, on 1st July, right, A is also working, B is also working. 2nd July, A is working, B is working. 3rd July, A is working, B is working. A is working, B is working. Okay, right? A took a leave, A took a day off after every 5 days. Okay, so 6 days A did not work, right? Right, but on the day 6, B worked. Okay, this is your A, this is your B, right? But on 7th day, A worked and B worked, both worked, right? Okay, on 8th day, what happened? A worked, but B did not work, right? Okay, right? So in the first 8 days, what happened? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14, right? Okay, so 14 man days have been done till 8th, right? Okay, same will be the case for 9, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th and 16th also, right? So by 16th, what will happen? By 16th, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14, 14 into 2, 28 man days will be done, isn't it? Okay, right? By 16, 28 man days will be done. Now how many man days you have to do? Okay, 8 man days more is required, which is 36 minus 28, right? Isn't it? Okay, 8 man days is required, right? So this will be the case on 17th, 18th, 19th and 20th, right? Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, right? So on 20th July, both of them will finish off the work, right? Okay, right? Simple. You don't have to think of complicated questions. AFCAT does not give you like that. Okay, but yeah, sometimes questions are tough. Yeah, let's accept that. Okay, the radius of a metallic sphere ball is 3 centimeter. Okay, right? So you have a radius of a metallic sphere ball which is 3 centimeter. If the metallic ball is melted and recast into x number of hemisphere, right, of radius equal to half of the radius of the metallic sphere, right? So the hemisphere which is being created, their radius is 3 by 2. Then what is the value of x, right? In what will be the case over here? This, right, if this is the spherical ball, will be equal to number of, let's say, x number of this particular stuff, right? So which means we are going to equate the volume, right? If we are going to equate the volume, I'm sure you guys are aware about the volume of a sphere, which is 4 by 3 pi into r cube, right? R cube, pi r cube, right? And how many hemispherical stuff will be formed? I don't know. Let's say x, right? They are telling to find out the x. Okay, what is the volume of the hemisphere? 2 by 3 pi r cube. Over here they said radius equal to half of the radius of this particular value. Then cube value is 3 by 2, 3 by 2, 3 by 2, right? Okay, from here what all can you simply chuck out? Okay, you can chuck out 3 3 3 pi. Okay, right? 3 3 3 pi, right? Okay, now this one also you can chuck out, this one also you can chuck out, 2 also you can chuck out, only to write 2 over here, right? Okay, 2 4 8, x is there, 2 is there, right? Okay, so x is how much? Is equal to 16. Question number 61, C is going to be the correct answer, folks, right? Okay, question number 61, C is going to be the correct answer. Okay, now this 62 is a very interesting question. Just look at it carefully, right? I know many of you join here only to see me solve maths question, right? Okay, So yeah, so this is the part that all of you have been waiting for. I understand that. Okay, some ice pieces spherical in shape, right? Some ice pieces is spherical in shape, right? Of diameter, right? Diameter 6 centimeters are dropped in a cylindrical container containing some juice and are fully submerged, right? If the diameter of the container is 18 centimeter and the level of juice rises by 40 centimeter, then how many ice pieces are dropped in the container? Yeah, $1 million question. Absolutely $1 million question, right? Okay. So what they are saying is that, okay, some ice pieces, right? Some ice pieces spherical in shape, right? Okay. The ice pieces are spherical in shape, right? And if they are spherical in shape, right? So what will be their volume? 4 by 3 pi into r cube, right? R cube diameter is 6 means then this will be 4 by 3 pi r cube, right? How many? I don't know. So let's call it x, right? Okay. Some ice pieces spherical in shape of diameter 6 centimeter are dropped in a cylindrical container, right? Okay. In a cylindrical container. This is the cylindrical container. Okay. Right? Dropped in a cylindrical container containing juice and are fully submerged, right? In this stuff, this is fully submerged if the diameter of the container is 18 centimeter, right? Okay. Now you have to understand the volume of all the all the spherical ice pieces that are being dropped will be equal to the volume of water that is being raised. Okay, right? So how much of volume of water is being risen? Okay, the volume, the level of juice rises by 40 centimeter. Now this particular stuff is your what? Cylindrical in shape. What is the volume of this cylindrical cylinder? Pi into r square, right? Diameter is 18, right? Pi into r square into h. That's it. Okay, right? So this is what you have. Now 3 into 3, right? And also pi, right? So 9, this gone on to a toss, this 3 and this 3 will also go on to a toss, right? And then this 4 and this 10, right? Which means x is equal to 90, 62. D will be the correct answer over here, folks. Right? Are you guys getting it? Are you guys getting it? Yeah? Yeah. Are you guys getting it? Write down in the chat if you guys are getting it or not getting it. Only a few of you are here. 2 of you are here. I know, right? 1 or 2 will join and how does it look like? Okay. So what do you guys think? Okay. Right? Interesting one. Okay. Alright, a fast local of Mumbai takes 45 minutes less than a slow local for a journey of 150 km. If the speed of the fast local is 10 kilometers more than the slow local, find the speed of the slow local, right? If the slow local is 30, fast local will be 40. The slow local is 35, fast local will be 45. If it is 45, this will be 50. If it is 40, this will be 50. Okay. Now I am choosing option D. First one to choose, right? For 150 kilometers, fast local will take 3 hours. For 150 kilometers, it will take how much? 3 and 1 by 4, right? 3 and, right? 3 and 3 by 4, right? 3 and 3 by 4 hours, right? 3 by 4 hours means how much? 3 by 4 hours means how much? 45 minutes, right? So obviously the slow local, the speed of the slow local is how much? D over here, right? Easy, absolutely easy. I've always been telling you that your options are your resources. Leverage your resources, right? That's how it will work out. Okay. So in a school of 720 students, right? If there is a school where 720 students are there, the ratio of the boys and girls are 3:5. Find how many new boys may be allowed to the school if 18 new girls are admitted, so that the ratio of the boys and girls changes to 2 is to 3, right? Okay, so if 7, what is the number of boys, right? Boys, the number of boys will be 3 by 8 into 720, right? Okay, so this is how much? 9, 0, 270 are boys, okay, 270 are boys, and then the rest is how much? 5 by 8 into 720, right? Okay, which means 450 are girls. Already 18 new girls have been added. How many boys are added we don't know, right? And this value has to be how much? 2 by 3, right? Okay, so 270 plus x divided by, right, 450 plus 20 is 470, 468 is equal to 2 by 3, right? Okay, so 27 into 3 is how much? 810 plus 3x is equal to how much? How much is this particular value? Okay, right? 468. 8 into 2 is 6. 6 into 2, 12 plus 1, 13. 9. Okay, which means 3x is equal to 936 divided by 810, which is 6, which is 2, 1. 126, right? Which is how much? 42, right? 64. Answer will be 42, folks. Okay, yeah, folks. Right, so you guys have to do this question in a faster manner, right? So you have to make it fast and make it happen. Okay, so study the given table and answer the question that follows, right? The average number of children per family, right? The average number of children per family, right? So there are total number of children is 0, 22, 30, 18, 8, right? Isn't it? I'm multiplying these two, and all. Okay, so if you add all of these, how many children are there? Okay, right? How many children are there? Okay, this is your 40. 40 plus 30 is 70, 78, right? 78. How many number of families are there? Okay, families, number of families, just add it. Okay, 6 plus 4 is 10, right? 10 plus 22 is 32, right? 34, 39, 49. Okay, 79 by 49. Pick up your calculator and do this. Okay, 78 by 49. Let me do this. Okay, 78 by 49, right? The answer is 1.59. Okay, obviously in your examination you cannot really feel lazy to do these questions, isn't it? Yes or no? Two of you are here, right? Question number 66 asks which of the following is the greatest 4-digit number that is divisible by 15, 25, 40 and 75, right? Okay, which of the following is the greatest 4-digit numbers that are divisible by 15, 20, 40 and 75, right? So pick up the greatest number. The greatest number is 9600, right? Obviously it is divisible by 15. Again it is divisible by 25 also. It is divisible by 40 also. You can check for it. Okay, now you just have to check 9600 divided by 75. Does it work out? Okay, so I have picked up my calculator. 9600 divided by 75. Yes, it does work out in 128 ways. Okay, so simply C is your answer. Okay, right? You have to reach the answer in the shortest possible time. Okay, right? So we don't have to do no PhD over here, right? Isn't it? Now moving ahead with question number 67, right? What is the average of the first 6 prime numbers? Okay, what is the average of the first 6 prime numbers? What do you guys think is the average of first 6 prime numbers? Okay, right? What is the average of the first 6 prime numbers? Right? Okay, the first 6 prime numbers over here, your 2, 3, 5, 7, 11 and 13 divided by 6. Okay, guys, do you realize that you have certain sitter questions like this also, and you can't really miss this question because everyone else will be doing this. Okay, so 13 plus 7 is 20, 25, 28, 30, 40, 41. 41 by 6. Okay, right? So 6 into 6, 36, and 5 by 6. Okay, 67. B is your correct answer, folks. Right? Now you have to simplify question number 68 over here. Right? Question number 68, if you try to simplify, B plus 2A. Right? Okay, so let me just do the honor over here. Okay, B plus 2A, right, minus big bracket 3B plus A minus of 2A plus B plus 2A minus of A, right? Okay, this is what we have. So B plus 2A minus this particular value over here is your 2A plus A is how much? 3A. 3A minus 2A is how much? Simply A, right? Okay, this is your 3B plus B, which means plus 4B minus A, right? So B plus 2A minus A minus 4B minus A, right? Okay, so 2A gone and 2A gone, this one is gone, this one is gone. Okay, what we are left with? Minus 3B. But we don't have such an answer. What should we do? Right? We should write it a bit more clearly. Okay, from next time onwards, I will possibly try to make a separate PPT and get cracking. Okay, right? So B plus 2A minus, right, 3B plus A, right, minus 2A, right, minus B plus 2A, right, minus A, right? Okay, this is what we have. So minus 2A and plus 2A, right, minus 2A and plus 2A, right? Okay, so this particular value will be how much? A plus 2B, right? A plus 2B, right? A plus 2B, right? Okay, so A plus 2B, right? Now if you solve for it, which will be B plus 2A minus A minus 2B minus A, right? 2A minus A, which will be equal to minus B, as you have got 68. C as the correct answer, right? How about 69? How about question number 69, folks? What do you folks think about question number 69? Yeah? What do you folks think about question number 69? In a store, Arun has two options, right? To buy a mobile phone, either he can pay it in full, 2500, or he may buy it in an installment scheme of 520 rupees in down payment, right? Okay, so and 4 equal installments, the rate of interest being charged at the rate of interest being charged at 25% per annum, simple interest, right? Okay, Arun buys a mobile phone on an installment scheme, right? What is the monthly installment of Arun? Okay, what is the monthly installment of Arun? Okay, right? So he has bought it in an EMI plan, right? So he has got like 2500 rupees, right? And out of which 520 he has done the down payment. So 1980 is what you have. Okay, right? So 25% simple interest is what you are going to have over here, and you need to into 4 equal installments. Okay, if you want to give it in 4 equal, yeah, okay, so 4 equal installments over here, right? So 51 into 4 is how much? 0, 4, 20, right? Okay, right? So so he did a down payment of 520 rupees. Okay, he did a down payment of 520 rupees. Okay, and 25% at the end of 1 year, right? 25% will be added over here, isn't it? Okay, 25% per annum, right? So if you add 25% over here, what is the 25%? Close to 500. So which means close to how much? 2480 is what going to be the money that he needs to pay at the end of 1 year, right? Okay, right? Yeah, installment questions are very tricky. Okay, so we got to bear it. Okay, installment questions are very tricky, right? So in 4 equal installments, right? So there is a formula for that. Okay, the formula how it looks like is that, okay, the formula how it looks like is that principal value, right? Okay, he did a down payment, so his principal value came out to be 1980, right? Okay, so 1980 is equal to, right? Okay, he did a 4 installments, right? So now I'm saying installment is equal to x, right? Okay, divided by 1.25. Okay, right? 1.25. Okay, right? But I don't know, like, it does not really work around with simple interest stuff. Okay, let me just see how do they have uh, this formula that I was trying to give you. It works with only compound interest, right? Okay, but then they have given over here simple interest. So let's just check a bit. Let's just take a bit of idea for question number 69 what they have done. Okay, right? He pays this much, right? Okay, then SI 25% per annum. Okay, per annum 25% per annum. Why they have given 4 by 12? That is also one of the problems. Okay, right? So at the end of 4 months and all that, oh my god, that's a hell a lot of problem over here, right? Okay, right? Yeah, so we don't exactly know when exactly this payment of installments is being made. Okay, right? So we are not quite sure about when exactly the installment payments are being made over here, right? So in a store, Arun has two options to buy a mobile phone. Either he can pay the full amount of 2500, right? Or he may buy at an installment scheme of 520 in down payment and 4 equal installments, right? A rate of a rate of interest charged at 25% per annum as simple interest. Okay, right? 25% as simple interest. Okay, okay. So in that case, what is happening? 1980 will be charged. Okay, one thing is certain, that 1980 will be charged. Okay, right? But what he does, but what he does, we'll try to do some approximation over here, right? What he actually does is that, you know, he pays in, right, 4 quarters. Okay, right? He pays in 4 quarters, right? Okay, so if 25% of it, okay, 25% of it is how much? Okay, right? 25% of this particular value, right, will be how much? 490? No. Okay, half of it is half of this is 990. Okay, so 455, no, okay, 495, right? Okay, so 495, right? So overall he is likely to pay somewhere around 495. Okay, but that is also in a very uh, higher terms. This number 495 is also on a very higher terms. Okay, so this number does not seem to be the right answer. Okay, right. So this is for one whole year. Okay, and 1/4 of this. Okay, now 1/4 of this will be how much? Okay, how much they have given, right? Let's look at this, how much they have given over here, right? Okay, right, 980 the SI on 25% premium for 1/3. Okay, right, for 4 months out of 12 months, right? This particular stuff was not clear. So 1980 plus 165 monthly installment bx. So at the end of 4 months, first installment is x plus this, right, is equal to x. Second installment is this, third installment is this, total installment, okay, is this particular number. Okay, and over here they have given all of this. Okay, right. So yeah, installment questions, yeah, absolutely. 25% per annum simple interest, but when exactly the payment is being made, they have not told anything over here, right? Okay, they haven't really told anything over here. So, thumb rule for your AFCAT examination, if you find installment questions, right, you can simply respect it for what it is. Generally, the installment questions, it works with not simple interest, it works with compound interest. Okay, and it is not clear that when exactly he pays it. Okay, and even the solution is very quirky, right? When you say over here the solution over here, this is very quirky, right? Okay, what exactly are they trying to understand, make us understand, right? It's way beyond comprehension, right? Either for normal aspirants and also for me, right? I'm a teacher and still it's way beyond my comprehension, right? Okay, so how it looks like is that in the compound interest mode, the principal is equal to installment, the equal installment divided by 1 plus rate by 100 plus, right, installment divided by 1 plus rate by 100 square for if there is 2 equal installment. Okay, plus x divided by 1 plus r by 100 if it is for 3 years. Likewise, you will be having x divided by 1 plus r by 100 raised to the power n, right? This is exactly how it looks like. Okay, this is the exact way that it is supposed to look like. Okay, right, but the question is a little bit quirky, so let's just respect it for being this way, right? Okay, now we need to simplify this. Okay, right, so simplifying this particular question number 70, installment questions, guys, I tell you very very honestly, I've done my MBA, and in that MBA we have done these installment questions. We used to use Excel sheets. Okay, and at this 12 o'clock 12:40, I honestly don't want to go into that. Okay, right, we pull up the Excel sheet, we put up the number and just drag it down. Okay, and everything comes, right? Okay, so you may use chat gpt and Excel sheet and stuff, but in the examination hall, if you see installment question, if it is 2 to 3 installments, absolutely yes, you can go for it. But if it is more than that, say thank you so much sir for asking this question, I will solve this after the exams, right? Tell it like that, right? Okay, and if you take it on your ego that, oh my god, I have to solve for it, I know it all, then it will bring you a peril. Okay, right, so that's what I wanted to say, right? See, questions like this, these are easy questions. You have to pick up the low laden fruits, right? Okay, AFCAT is not an exam which tests your knowledge. Okay, it tests your smartness, right? Okay, so what am I going to do in this particular question? X minus 2y and y minus 3x, right, plus over here x plus y and x minus y, right, okay, and over here you have again plus x minus 3y and 2x plus y, right. This is all you have. How are you going to solve this? Okay, again I'm not in a mood to do any calculation over here. I'm in a mood to assume certain numbers, okay, right. So I'll assume certain numbers over here. Let's say I assume x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 1. Is there any harm? There is no harm, absolutely no harm, okay. So this is 2 minus 2 minus 2, right, 2 minus 2. If it is 2 minus 2 means the whole stuff becomes 0, right. That's it, isn't it? Okay, now over here this is your 2 plus 1 is 3 and 2 minus 1 is 1, plus over here x value is 2 minus 3 and 2x value is 4 plus 1, okay, right. So this value is how much? 5, and this value is minus 1, okay. So which is your how much? This is your minus 5, okay. 3 plus minus 5 is minus 2, right. So by putting this value you should get minus 2, right. Now check for the option. I honestly, even to my student as well, I teach them that I don't want to use much of a variable. Option A says 2y, right. So 2, right, x value is 2 minus 3y, right, okay. So 2 into minus 1, which is minus 2. Hold on, just hold on, okay. Now you have B over here, 2y, which means 2 into x plus 1, x plus 3y. Obviously this will not give you minus 2, right. Option C over here, 2x value is 4, right, 4, and this particular value is how much? Okay, whatever this number comes, absolutely it is not going to be minus 2, so I can simply chuck it, okay. 2x value is 4, and again this value will also not come out to be, right, minus 2. So easily we can say option A is your correct answer, folks, right. Easily over here we can say option A is the correct answer, right. Now going ahead with question number 71 over here. Ayush spends 25% of an amount on insurance policy, 26% on his food, right, 25% on insurance, 26% on food, 51, 31, 23% on children's education, right. 51 plus 3, 54, 54 plus 20 is 74, right, and 19, right, 74 plus 19, right, 84, 74 plus 20 is 94, 93, right. So 93% he has already spent, okay. He deposited the remaining amount, right. That means 7% is equal to 26600, okay, right, which means x. What is the total amount that he spends on food, recreation, and food and recreation together, okay. So how much he has? If 7% is equal to this one, that means x of 7% is equal to 26600, which means x value is 26600 into 100 divided by 7, okay. Now they are asking how much he spends on food as well as recreation, okay. 26% on food and this particular value 19%, okay. 26 plus 19 is how much? 45, okay, right, isn't it? Okay, so which is equal to 45 by 100. This one gone, this one gone. So now I'll just pick up my calculator, right. So this is your 26600 into 45, right, divided by 7, you get an answer 17100, right, okay. So you have to do this calculation in a slightly faster manner in the examination hall and get cracking, okay, right. So now question number 72, the number of balls, each one is 4 centimeter in diameter, that can be made from a metallic sphere of 32 centimeter, right. This is the question number 72, that is asking how many number of balls, each one of having diameter 4 centimeter, right? Okay, 4 centimeter in the diameter can be made from a solid metallic sphere. Okay, solid metallic sphere means 4 by 3 pi into r cube, right? Diameter is 32. And then how many you don't know, 4 by 3 pi into r cube, 4 by 3 pi, 4 by 3 pi, 4 by 3 pi, okay, 2 4 8, right? This one will go how much? 2 times, right? 16 into 16, 256, 256 into 2, right? Okay, 512, right? 72. C is the answer, right? Now, question number 73. Rakesh runs a coaching institute having 50 faculty members. Okay. The average monthly salary, question number 73 over here. Average monthly salary of 35 faculty. Okay. For 35 faculty, it is 37,500. Okay. What will be the average monthly salary of those 15 people? Okay. Right. 15 people. So that their so that should be what? So that the average of the 50, it should be 30,000 is what they are asking. Okay, right, is what they're asking. Okay, if the average monthly salary of all the 50 faculty members is found to be 30,000, then what is the average of those 15 people? Okay, right. So what we can do over here is that we can reduce this particular into its ratios. This is in the ratio of 3 and 7, right? Okay, 3 and 7, isn't it? Okay, so now if instead of saying the average of the people having 37,500 and salary X is the ratio of 35 is to 15, I can say they are in the ratio 7 is to 3, isn't it? Okay, so which means 37,500 into 7 plus 3. I don't know their salary, right? I don't know their salary. I mean the other people, those who are having the lesser salary, is equal to, right, is equal to 10 into what is the total, right? Total is 3 lakhs, right? Okay, 30,000 into 3, right? 30,000 into 10, which means 3 lakhs, right? So over here you will, what you will be left over here is with 3 lakhs, right? Over here 300,3000, right? Okay, so which means 3 lakhs, okay, 300, 1 2 3 minus this particular value. How much is this? 0 0. Okay, this particular value I am trying to reduce. 0 0. 7 into 5 35, 3 49 3 52 5, right, divided by 3. Okay, 2,62,500. Okay, 2,62,500 means what? 62 means how much? 38, right? 38, that means 37,500. 37,500. 37,500 divided by 3, which is how much? 12500. Okay, which means 12,500. 73. C is the correct answer, folks. Right. Obviously, if you multiply it with 35, 15 and all that, that is going to trouble you a lot. Okay, right? That is going to trouble you a hell a lot. So you would not want to go in that particular direction. Okay, right? Now question number 74 over here. It says, right, in a 1200 meter race, Rakesh reaches the final point in 36 seconds, right? And Rajesh reaches in 40 seconds. By how much distance does Rakesh beat Rajesh? Okay, right? Okay, so if if Rakesh completes the race in 36 seconds, okay, and he takes 4 seconds, okay, right, 4 seconds more, right, okay, so which means 4 seconds more, right? Isn't it? Rajesh is taking 4 seconds more, right? In 40 seconds, he traveled 1200 meters, right? In 40 seconds, he traveled 1200 meters, which means in 4 seconds, he traveled 120 meters, and that is the distance with which he was beaten. Yes or no? That is the exact distance with which he was beaten. Yes or no? Right? Okay. So B over here is your correct answer, folks. Right? Okay. A man covers a certain distance by bike. Okay. Right? Question number 75. If he covers 25% of the distance at the speed of 25 kmph, 50% at the speed of 50 kmph, and the remaining at the speed of 12.5 kmph, find his average speed over the whole journey. Can I assume over here that he was doing a 100-kilometer journey? Okay, I can assume it. Yeah, absolutely yes. My choice, isn't it? If he is doing 25%, which is your 25 kilometer at the rate of 25 kmph, which means he must have taken 1 hour, isn't it? Now 50%, right? 50% means how much? 50 kilometer at the 50 kmph. That means he must have taken another 1 hour, okay? And the remaining is how much? 25, right? 25 he has done at the rate of 12.5 kmph. He must have taken 2 hours, right? What is the average speed of the whole journey? Total distance by total time, right? Which is how much? 25 kmph, folks. Right? Are you guys there? Nobody is there. Okay? Oh yeah, enjoying the show, all of you, right? So much so that nobody is there. Okay? Yeah? Enjoying the show so much so that nobody is there. Yeah? Okay? So with this we come to a conclusion of the English, GK and mathematics part over here, right? Okay. So now let's just try to understand a few questions about the reasoning and military aptitude. Okay, right? Who and all are there till the very end? I really want to know. Okay, who and all are here? Right? Let me know in chat. Right? Okay. A paper is folded and is cut as shown. How will it appear when unfolded? Okay. Right? Okay. How will it appear when unfolded? Right? So it is this particular way. So if you have to unfold it, okay, obviously one thing is that one thing you can look very carefully that this is how it is going to be. Okay, it means A and C are definitely not your answers. Okay, A and C are definitely not your answers. Okay, right? Now in D this space is really narrow. Okay, because this distance and this another distance on the other hand side, it will take you to 76C. Okay, right? Which one will come next in the series over here for this particular question number 77, right? It is your now the triangle will be upside facing, this triangle facing upside, and down one will be filled, right? So easily we can say 77. B is your answer, right? Okay. Question number 78. Select the option that represents the letter that when sequentially placed in the blanks below will complete the series. Okay, right? So you see over here A, B, B, right? A, B, A, B, B. A, B, A, B, B, right? Okay. Just before that, what do you have? Right? A, B, A, B, B. Okay, right? So over here also A should come. A, B, A, B, B, A, B, A, B, right? So this is your okay. Let me draw it clearly. Okay, right? Okay. So this is what it is. A, B, A, right? So this is there is one is A is missing over here, right? So AA, BA, BB, AA, BA, BB, right? Okay. So over here AA, BA, BB, right? So obviously this is not there in your blanks. So what will be the answer? A, right? And what else? Right? A comma B, right? And AA, BA, BB, right? So obviously over here it will end with A, right? So A, B, A over here. B is the correct answer, folks. Okay. Select the number from which the given option that can replace the question mark. Okay, 141, 171, 200, and then question mark 264. Right. So first of all, what do we do in such a kind of question? Right. Question number 79. We just try to find out the difference. Right. Over here, difference is 29. Okay. What is the difference over here? Right. Okay. 150, 21 plus 6 is how much? 27, 29. So obviously it is supposed to be 31, right? Isn't it? And then that means 231, 79. D over here is the correct answer. Guys, if at 1 o'clock you guys have joined, then at least write down the answer in the chat. Okay? 3 of you, right? One is me from another device trying to see the chat, right? So 2 of you, write down. Okay? So yeah, reasoning part is always going to be very easy. That is what I tell to all the aspirants, guys. Study reasoning, study mathematics, study English properly. GK also you can study, but GK is ocean. Okay, the rest of the YouTube people, they will make GK look like that is the only thing you should study, right? But that's not the case, man. Okay, that will bring your own peril, right? Okay. 6 characters A, B, C, 1, 2, 3 are written on the different faces of a dice. 2 positions on this dice are shown in the figure. Find the character on the face opposite to 3. Right? Okay. So if you have such a setup, wherein only one face is common, okay. So you write down, you take the dice 1, okay, write down A and write down the rest of the characters in the anti-clockwise direction. Okay, so A, 2, 1. Okay, now in the second one also just write A below the A and again write the rest of the characters in the anti-clockwise direction. Okay, right? Okay, right? Okay, so yeah, absolutely. So over here, so 1 is opposite to 3, 2 is opposite to C, and absolutely A cannot be opposite to A, isn't it? Okay, so A will be opposite to B. Okay, so the answer to this particular question 80 will be B, folks. Okay, right? Hold on one moment. Okay, why is my phone restarting? Yeah, okay. So select the option in which the given figure is embedded. Okay, question number 81, right? Just focus on question number 81 over here, right? Okay, so what do you guys think about this particular question? Where exactly is your, right? Over here we see a triangle, right? We see a triangle, right? And we see almost everything perfectly lined up, okay, right? Which is not there in any rest of the figures. So we go ahead with C as an answer to this particular question. Question number 82, last 19 more questions, right? Okay, right? 19 more questions. Select Venn diagram, clothes, shirt, type. Okay, okay. So cloth, shirts, and shoes. Okay, cloth, shirts, and shoes, right? So what do you guys think? Okay, right? Includes update, cancel that. Okay, 2.18 MB. Okay, my phone is asking for a bit of reset that I will do later, right? Okay, for now we have to work around this particular one. Okay, cloth, shirt, and clothes, shirt, and shoes. Okay, obviously shoes is not your clothes, so shoes will have to be outside, and shirt is a kind of cloth, so we'll go ahead with 82B as an answer. Okay, question number 83, q plus j, right? Q plus j means q is husband of j, right? Okay, q minus j is q is the father of j, right? Okay, so d into v, okay, d into v, q into j means q is daughter of j, okay, right? So v, right, and d, okay, right? We have learnt in the blood relations that, okay, one, when we write it in a down manner, which means that is in the next generation, and circle means what? Okay, circle means female and square means male, right? And v plus b, right? V plus b, which means q is the husband of j, right? So which means v is a male, right? V is a male, and over here equal to sign, husband wives are like kind of equal, so that is over here given over here b, right? Okay, so I would write in a much better terms, I would write it over here d, right? So d star v, which means q is the daughter of j, right? Which means d is the daughter of v and as well as b, right? V plus b, plus means q is the husband of j, which means v is the husband of b, right? Which means equal to sign, and b into u, right? Which means q is the mother of j, right? Q is the mother of j, right? Okay, right? Yeah, okay. So b is the right into, yeah, so which means b is the mother of u, right? So over here again we don't know, so we'll put something like this u, okay, and we don't know the gender over here, so we can't write anything. So how is d related to u? Okay, obviously not mother daughter, right? D, how is d related means d is the sister over here, right? Okay, easy, absolutely easy, right? Okay, yep, guys are absolutely correct. Okay, yep, 83b, 82b, yep, 83a, yeah. Okay, all right, q is to the east of s, okay, right? So q is to the east of s, right? So if I have to draw something like that, okay, and this is our reference point, okay, q is to the east of s, okay, sorry, so if I, q is to the east of s, so this is your s, right? So can I say q is somewhere over here, right? Q is to the east of s, e is to the south of s, right? So e is to the south of s means e is somewhere over here, right? P is to the northeast of q, right? P is to the northeast, right? North is up and this particular way, okay? So P is somewhere over here, right? This is P. P is to the northeast of q and north of t, right? North of t means, right? North of t means t is supposed to be over here, north of t. If t is to the southwest of q, okay, okay. Now t also has to be the southwest of q, right? Okay, right? Okay, what is the position of, if t is to the south? Okay, I think I should have some blank papers over here, right? Okay, right? Anyways,
Why they are asking me these kind of questions?
yeah, they ask, yeah, okay. By the way, your sound is also coming here. Yeah, okay. So q is to the east of s, right? Okay, q is to the east of s, right? So if this is the inertial frame, right? Q is over here, q is to the east of s, e is to the south of S. So E is over here, there is no denial on that, okay. And P is to the northeast of Q, right, okay. P is to the northeast of Q, right, okay, and north of T, right, and north of T, right, okay. North of T means T has to be over here, right. If T is to the southeast of Q, right, if T is to the southeast of Q, right, southeast means this particular direction, right, and north of T, if T is to the southeast of Q, what is the position of S with respect to T, okay. So what is the position of S with respect to T, right. So this particular position is, right, northwest, right. So northwest, 84. D is going to be the correct answer, right. All right. So 85, in a certain code language, spam is coded as 36, right, okay. Whenever you get alphabets and numbers, right, SPAM, okay, A is how much? 1, okay. E, J, J, okay, P is how much? E, J, O, M, N, O, right, M, N, O, right. So M is 13, O, P, right, E, J, O, T, T, R, E, J, O, T, R, S, T, T is how much? 19, okay.
T20.
Yeah, R, S, T, so S is 19, right, okay. So if this particular value is coded as 36, right, okay. So if spam is coded as 36 and jug, JUG, right, G is 7, E, F, G, H, I, J, right, and U, what is the value of U over here? Okay, right, E, J, O, T, T, U, T, U, 21, okay, right. So if you, how much it is? If it is coded as 27, okay. If it is coded as 27, how will frog be coded? Okay, right? Yeah, how can we get 36, right? So 19 plus 14, 19 plus 14 is how much? 34.
33.
Yeah. 34 minus 1, 33, okay, yeah. And I mean, we needed to reach 36, okay, right, okay, okay, all right, okay. So I got that, okay. So this is basically 4 letters, okay. So it's simply 9 into 4, okay. This is 3 letters, this is simply 9 into 3, okay. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay. So 5 into 9, okay. So 85. C will be the correct answer in that case, okay. I mean, yeah, some questions are really out of the box. This was one of them, yeah. Can't really help it, okay. Question number 86, 15th last question for the day, okay. Right, we need to have a straight line obviously over here, okay. It is pretty much easy, right. This is there, this is there, this is there, this is there, okay. So easily over here A is the correct answer. 86, A is the correct answer. Now it is on four letter clusters have been given, out of which 3 are alike, okay, right. In certain manner 3 are alike and one is different. Which one is the the different one? Okay, different one is what they are asking. Okay, D4, B2, G7, GH, H is 8. Okay, right? What is their sum? 8 plus 4 is 12. 12 plus 7, 19, 21. Okay. H, G, H, G is 7. L value E J O J K L M value is 13. 25 plus 15 is how much? 40. Their sum is 40. Okay. E J O T, right? O value is how much? O value is M and O P, right? O P P O E J O T, right? And then T U 21. Okay, so how much is the addition over here, right? So this is 15 plus 15, 30 plus 40 is 70, 72, right? This is our 72, right? SRWX, okay, SRWX, right? So ST, right? ST, RST, okay, plus WX, okay, I got that, okay. So each of RS, WX, OP, TU, GH, KLM, BCD, this is the odd man out, okay, right? So 87, D over here is the odd man out, folks, okay, because the gap between D and B is not immediate, okay, but rest all others they are all immediate, okay. Now blood relation, one more blood relation question over here. T plus U means, okay, T plus U means T is the mother of U, okay, right? So A hashtag means T is the daughter of U, okay, which means A is the daughter of C, right? So A is the daughter of C, right? And C $V means T is the husband of U, okay, so which means this guy is the husband and V over here is the wife, okay. We'll write it more precisely, okay, down below A in 0, right, okay, and plus V plus X, right, which means T is the mother of U, right? So V is the mother of X, right? So V is the mother of X means that is also there, okay, which means these two guys are siblings. Then how is A related to X? I think for this question also we'll be having sister as the correct answer. Question number 89. A paper is folded and cut as shown below. How will it appear when folded? Okay. How will it appear when folded? When unfolded, right? Okay. So obviously there is going to be the positions of, obviously this one is wrong, okay, and yeah, if it is unfolded, first it is folded like this, then it is folded like this, okay. So it cannot, the position of these two will be different for sure. So these two are wrong, okay. Now comes to this particular, the gap over here is pretty small, but this gap seems to be sufficient enough because there is this gap and over here there will be one more gap, okay. So 89, go ahead with A as an answer, okay. Select the set in which numbers are related in the same way as are the numbers in the following sets. Notes operation should be performed on the whole numbers without breaking down the numbers into its constituent digits. Example 13. Operation or 13 such as adding, subtracting, multiplying, etc. to 13 can be performed. Breaking down 13 into 3 and 1 and then perform mathematical operation on 1 and 2 is not allowed. Right. Yeah. So 327 minus 112 is 215, okay, right? And 254 minus 156 is how much? 98, right? Okay. So the sum of these two values, 4 plus 2 is 6, 4 plus 6 plus 2 is 8, 2 plus 4 is 6. So obviously C seems to be the correct answer in that case. Okay. Now the 10th last question for the day. Two statements are given followed by three conclusions numbered 1, 2, 3. Right? Okay. So two statements are given followed by three conclusions numbered 1, 2, 3, assuming the statement to be true even if they seem to be at variance with commonly known facts. Decide which of the conclusions logically follow the statements. Okay. All keys are locks. Okay. Right? So these are keys, these are locks. No door is lock. Okay. So these are your door. Okay. Some locks are doors. Okay. Some locks are doors. No. Some locks are keys. Right? Some locks are keys, which is absolutely correct. Right? Because some of these locks are keys. No keys are doors. Right? Okay. Both conclusion 2 and 3 follows facts. Right? So 91. C is the correct answer. Okay. In a certain code language, live long is coded as mu I. Road is long is coded as I see dew. Okay, right? Long is common I. Long is common over here I. Right? So long means I. Right? So obviously live means mu. Mu. Okay? Right? So now over here game is live. Okay? Right? Game is live. Mu means live. Right? And over here game is live. Right? So is common. Is SI. Right? Is means SI. Right? Game is life. Game is live. This is. So the rest one over here is ZT. Okay. Yeah. Question number 93. Select the option that is related to the third word in the same way as the second word is related to the first word. The words must be considered as meaningful words and must not be related to each other. Based on the number of letters, numbers of consonants, vowels in the word. Pressure is to barometer. Electricity. Okay. Which particular device measures electricity? Device that measures electricity. Electricity over here. Pressure is to barometer electricity. Okay. So which one is this? Cyclotron. Perpendicular. Okay, it's not the answer. What is bolometer? Let's just try to find out. Bolometer. Okay. Then audiometer. Audiometer is not the answer. Okay. Pressure is checked by barometer. Okay. Multimeter. Okay. So a multimeter is a device which is used to check the electricity, right? So 93. D over here is the correct answer. Question number 94. This to this is 29 and this to this is 29, 9, yeah, okay. So 212 minus 29, 3, right, 8, 1, 183. Select the option that is related to the third term in the same way as the second term is related to the first term, and the third term in the sixth term is related to the fifth term. Select the option that is related to the third term in the same way as the second term is related to the first term. 25 is to 18. The difference is 7, difference is 7, so where difference will be 7. Which figure from the given option would replace the question mark over here, right? So 45 degree arrow is moving by 45 degrees anti-clockwise, anti-clockwise. So now it is going to be this way for sure, right? Now position of 2, position of D, this is sorted, okay. Now arrow moved up, right, down, and now it will obviously move left, 96 D. 97, question number 97. Select the figure. Select a figure from the 4 alternatives which when placed in the missing portion. Okay, so just reduce the size over here. Okay, this one looks easy, right? Obviously it will not be this one for sure, 100%, okay, and it will not be this one for sure, that is also gone, okay. And what is the difference between A and D, right? It is D, easily, right? So we'll move to the third last question for the day, 98. Okay, question number 98, right? Triangle each of the corners, right? Each of the corners okay. Okay, so this triangle, each of the diagonals are meeting at one place, okay, right? And there is no change in the orientation of this hexagon. So A and C are definitely not your right answer for sure, and obviously this one seems to be in the right sync, so we go ahead with B rather than D. Okay. PA, SD, PC, TC and SA, right? Okay. So which means one of T and C should come into the picture, either T or C, and this one of the S and D has to be there, okay. So T, C is there, S is there. P and S is not possible. T is there, D is there. T and A are not possible, okay. So we have to choose between A and B, okay. Now if we choose between A and B over here, right, so now between this figure and this figure, P is common, which means this means P, which means triangle means C, and this particular stuff means A, right? So which means this is A, which means this is your S, which means this is your S, which means this is your D, right? So we cannot have S, we need to have D for sure If we need to have D for sure, which means B is the correct answer. All right. Last and final question for the day. Okay. Who is there? Who has joined? Can you please let me know? Yeah. Who and all are there? Here, folks, question number 100. Who is there? I want to know the attendance of the people, those who are there in the background. In the following questions, two statements are given, followed by two conclusions. You have to consider the two statements to be true, even if they seem to be at variance from commonly known facts. You have to decide which of the given conclusion, if any, follow from the given statements. Statement 1. Statement says 60% of government employees went on strike. Mr. Gopal is a government employee. Okay. Now this is an interesting question. Okay, right? If this is the entire, right? If this is the entire government employee, right? Okay, there is only 60% of the chance that there is only 60% chance that Mr. Gopal also went to the strike. Okay, right? Mr. Gopal went on to strike. We can't really say. Mr. Gopal did not participate in the strike. That also we cannot really say. Okay, so either of the conclusion, one or two follows, right? If one follows, the another one will not follow. If the second follows, the first one will not follow, for obvious reasons. Okay. So yeah, folks, with this we come to an end of 2024 2 AFCAT memory based question paper. We'll be having more of such a session. If you have joined, if you are new into this space over here with us, kindly consider subscribing the channel. Okay, and yeah, we think we know, but many a times uh, it requires us to work really hard to make it happen. Okay, so uh, as a teacher, I'm taking 3.5 hours, sorry, 2.5 hours to do this paper, right? So obviously they are expecting much better from your side. Okay, so all the very best. Thank you so much for joining. Tomorrow we'll go ahead with CDS PYQ question paper. Okay, and we'll finish off 2025 second session maths question paper 76 to 100. Right? So I need to work and make it happen tomorrow. Bye bye. Good night. Jai Hind. Take care, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yep, guys. Bye bye. Good night. Thank you so much. Good night. Jai Hind. I'm feeling very sleepy. So I